There is no other organization that is as attentive to the needs of infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. And we all know we're part of a select group of people that understands that what happens in early childhood sets the template for the rest of your life, whether that is your stress response system because of what you've been through, whether it's your working models of relationships, whether it's the ways that you navigate emotions. We know how critically important this developmental period is. And what I would say is that in a way, 0 to 3 is one of your best partners in terms of advocating. In terms of advocating for the families that we care for, they do amazing policy work. And a lot of the policy work is going to prevent some of the problems that we see, reducing stress on families by looking at paid family leave, by looking at universal child care, by looking at early education supports, which also help families and helps communities. Those are all things that, I'm a mental health professional, but I know that the families that I work with suffer for economic reasons. A 0 to 3 is advocating for families in ways that, are very smart in terms of thinking about what would we all need if we were raising an infant and we had to work and we needed all of these things. What would reduce our stress levels? So that's really important. And then I would also say that as a mental health provider, very few organizations would be out there advocating for the fact that little kids actually have mental health, right? That little kids are actually affected by the things that happen around. If a little kid is in a car accident, they might be scared of being in a car accident. If a little kid has had people fighting, they might be scared of anger. 0 to 3 recognizes that, and they help policymakers to recognize. When they help policymakers recognize that, they help policymakers fund that. They also help us to think about which policymakers have little kids in their hearts and what might we advocate with those policymakers who don't yet, in order to send our message, loudly, being a big voice for little kids. And I don't think there's another organization that does